Welcome back everyone, I'm Kplays Games, this is EVE Online once again, and today we're going to be looking at fitting a ship for combat exploration in high security space. As usual, we need to ask ourselves a lot of questions. Are we just going to be hitting combat anomalies and therefore do not need a probe launcher, or are we going to be looking for combat signatures as well, in which case we will need a probe launcher and probes and a ship capable of running these sites? If we are just going to be hitting anomalies, which anomalies do we want to hit? Now this depends on which sector of space you're in. I'll put up a chart on the screen right now. As we can see in Galente space, in Serpentis hideaways, you will be rewarded a 3 out of 10 escalation, and a refuge will give you a 3 out of 10, and a den will give you 5 out of 10, and so on down the list. As we can see, if you're going to run dens, you're going to get nothing but 5 out of 10 escalations, so you're going to need a ship that's capable of running 5s. Or if you're just going to do hideaway and refuges, you will get a mix of 3s and 4s everywhere other than in Minmatar space, in which case you'll get 5 again. So then we need to decide whether or not we're going to run these escalations in the same ship that we're running the anomalies in. That's for you to decide. Next thing we need to figure out is, what do we know about Highsec Combat Anomalies? Well, the hideaways are just frigates. There's nothing but frigates in hideaways. Refuges is mostly frigates with a few destroyers and a couple of gun turrets, and dens is either a mix of frigates and destroyers, or it's a mix of destroyers and cruisers, so you'll need a slightly more capable ship for running dens. So if we're going to do just hideaways and refuges, that means most of our targets are going to be frigates. So we're going to have to run a lot of these sites to generate lots of escalations for ourselves, and that means we're going to have to target lock and kill lots of frigates very quickly, which means we're going to need a ship that is fitted with tracking and damage application and targeting speed modules on it. So I think we're going to go for a cruiser as usual. It seems to be the way this fitting guide goes. We always end up in a cruiser. I mean, you can quite easily run hideaways and refuges in a frigate or a destroyer, but then you'll probably need to go home and change into a cruiser to run the resulting 3 out of 10 and 4 out of 10 DED sites anyway. Almost any Tech 1 cruiser will be capable of running sites in high security space. You will see a lot of people in Tech 3 destroyers like Jackdaws, and pirate ships like Orthrus cruisers are very popular because they're very fast at running these sites, but almost anything can do them and be competitive if you fit for target speed and damage application. What kind of range is our ship going to need? Well, not very much. Most of the time you'll either land 30 kilometers, 15 kilometers, or 0 kilometers from the NPCs, so you want to fit your weapons around 15 kilometers. That means you can get away with using quite short range high damage weapons, which is nice. Tank wise, you barely need anything because it is just frigates and destroyers and the occasional cruiser if you're going to run dens. Object of the exercise is to target lock and kill everything very fast, so hopefully your tank won't be under too much pressure. Capacitor wise, we're going to have to be quite careful because we're going to be warping from site to site to site and running a lot of sites, so we'll be firing our weapons almost constantly, we'll be warping a hell of a lot, so the cap needs to be pretty close to stable with just the tank and the weapons running, and you have to take the warping into account as well because that does use capacitor. Propulsion module wise, you could get away with not fitting anything, but you really want to have a Microwarpdrive just in case a commander spawns and you can swoop in and grab the loot and then warp out to the next site. So in previous videos we've already fitted a Vexor and a Stabber, so we'll discount these. This leaves us with 8 cruisers in total over the 4 main empires. In alphabetical order, these are Arbitrator, Bellicose, Caracal, Malar, Moa, Omen, Rupture and Thorax. So we'll assign these a number from 1 to 8 in alphabetical order, and we'll bring back our old friend random number generator. Minimum 1, maximum 8. Number 8. Okay. Thank you, random number generator. You've given us a result of 8, which means we'll be fitting a Thorax. So let's open the fitting screen and get to work. Propulsion I think we'll do first. We'll just get this out the way. We'll get a 50 meganewton restrained microwarpdrive on it like that. and we'll just keep it online but turned off. Tank wise, we'll just do one medium armour repairer. I'm going to go Tech 2 gear because hopefully by now you will have trained up to Tech 2 stuff. The only other bit of tank is going to be a reactive armour hardener, that's all this needs. And we'll get a compact cat battery to run them, that's the entire tank. These 3 modules, the standard. Okay, we only have 2 mid slots left, that's not very good. I think we're going to have to go a sensor booster 1. Sensor booster 2 I should say, and a tracking computer 2 as well. And we'll go to charges and we'll get a scan resolution script in here for faster targeting, and we'll go tracking speed script in here for faster weapon tracking. I think in the low slots we're going to go 2 magnetic field stabilizers. I don't think we're going to need 3, and I think a tracking enhancer is probably a good idea for the final one. Weapons wise, okay, we said that we can go short range, but blasters are a little bit too short range, so I think we're going to go railguns. Remember what we said, tracking is everything. We could put on 200mm for more range and damage, but tracking is everything when it comes to running these sites. So I'm going to do something nobody else will do, and I'm going to put on dual 150s. Throw on some antimatter ammo. There we go, the range is optimal range is 10 kilometers, fall off range is 19, so 15 is just about spot on. Turret tracking is 30.48, it's not huge, but it's pretty good. We're doing 352 DPS and a volley of 679, that's pretty good because frigates in high security space come with as little hit points as 55 and sometimes as much as 500, so volleying for 679 is pretty good. And the rate of fire of these is pretty good as well. If we have a look at the attributes page, rate of fire 2.09 seconds, so every 2 and a bit seconds hopefully we'll be volleying 1 frigate off the field completely. And to supplement that we're going to throw on some drones. Light combat drones, not fighters you idiot. Light combat drones, light scout drones. Because we're in Galenti space, we're going to throw on some Tech 2 Hornets. Because as we know, Serpentis are weakest to kinetic, and these drones do kinetic, which is great. Okay, rigs wise, what do we want to do? I mean, we've got 418 DPS, we don't really need any more DPS. The capacitor is only lasting 3 minutes 28 with the Microwarpdrive off, so I think we're going to need a capacitor rig. Maybe a Tech 2, so at 5 minutes 42, still not great. 6 minutes with that, that'll do. And I quite like to do a targeting speed and a tracking rig in the last 2, so let's have a look at that. Yep, looks like we can do that. So that's taken up all 400 of our calibration. The capacitor is really not good, but to be honest, you only need to turn the tank on once you get into armour, if you get into armour. So we should be okay with this. Plenty of DPS, plenty of tracking speed. So I shall go and buy that, and then we'll undock and see what we can do with it. Okay, we've bought and fitted a ship. It looks like this. Very nice. Bought some extra ammo as well, so let's undock and see what we can find. Okay, we've been searching a few systems. This is the first system I found that actually had any anomalies, so let's see how this ship performs. I have turned on the tactical overlay so we can see this dotted line here is our targeting range, and these 2 rings, the outer one is the fall off and the inner one is the optimal range. Quite a few players will fit warp speed rigs or even warp speed accelerators in the low power slots. And someone's already here, so let's just leave him to do his thing and we'll find another one. We could try and compete with him, but that's just too much effort.
Warp drive active.
This is the thing, these are public sites. So you will be racing people, which is why another reason I wanted to be very, very fast in targeting and really good at damage application. You can get a target lock on things and kill them instantly before the other guy even gets target lock, and you'll just annoy them into leaving and finding another site for themselves. Or even leaving the system, to be honest. That's the theory anyway, we'll see if it works. Okay, what range have we landed at here? Pretty much dead on our optimal range. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Well, that seems to work. Targeting speed isn't quite what I would like, but it's doing fine. We can ignore the 2 gun turrets because we're in a cruiser. They're not going to be dealing enough damage to cause us any trouble. It's all about killing frigates as fast as you can. And destroyers. Here's the first destroyer of the day. Almost one-shotted it, but not quite. Again, almost, but not quite. I'm back to frigates now, apparently. Yes, I know I haven't turned the armor rep on, because I am trying to preserve the capacitor a little bit. And that's that site done. On to the next system. Well, as a proof of concept, it seems to work. We were lucky enough to land pretty much dead on our optimal range there.
Warp drive active.
Okay, another system. There's 4 to choose from. Well, there are now. There probably won't be by the time we finish. Oh, 5 to choose from. That's nice. I am recording this video only about an hour after downtime, so the space lanes are extremely busy. There is a lot of competition, and these sites will disappear and then respawn all the time, because everyone is out running them right now. Okay, I think we're going to land about 15. Good. Hold control, draw a box, start the clock. Quite a few waves in this one. Oh, I suppose I should turn the tank on. We'll just spread the guns around. Well, that's that one done.
Warp drive active.
Okay, I have been out in space, I have run many sites, I have been to many places, so let's have a look at what we got for all of that. We went to 14 systems. We found 12 hideaways and ran them all. We found 8 refuges and ran them all. We didn't get a single commander out of that, which is slightly annoying, but we did get 3 escalations. As we see here, these are the 3 escalations we got. 2 of them are in low sec, which is rather annoying. 1 of them's in high sec, that's fine. But 3 escalations from 20 sites is actually pretty good. We started this adventure, we undocked at 11:41, we finished at 12:28. So that's 47 minutes to run 20 sites in 14 different systems, which works out as just over 2.5 minutes per site, including warping time and targeting speed times, which is not too shabby. So I think this fit works absolutely fine. If I would change anything, I may be tempted to offload this tracking enhancer too and replace it with a signal amplifier, just to boost the targeting speed a little bit more, just to save a couple of seconds. But then, whether or not we then lose seconds by not one-shotting things, that's just something we'd have to try. But this ship works absolutely fine. As usual, I'll put the fit in the comments below. Hope you found this entertaining, and I hope you come back for the next one. Until then, do take very, very good care of yourselves. I'll talk to you later.